The fire erupted on a Thursday afternoon. It rose from the canyons of Otay Mountain, a familiar landmark on the US-Mexico border. Within hours it became a wall of flames visible for miles. Driven by fierce Santa Ana winds, the fire quickly consumed the dry brush and chaparral. The flames raced uphill, leaving a trail of black smoke in their wake. This was not an ordinary wildfire. This was an inferno, fueled by drought and wind, threatening homes and lives. The fire, dubbed the Border 2 fire by fire officials, was a stark reminder of the power of nature. It was a reminder of the vulnerability of life and property in the face of such destructive force. As the sun set on that Thursday, casting an eerie orange glow on the smoke-filled sky, a sense of dread settled over the region. The fire was far from contained, and the worst might be yet to come. The canyons of Otay Mountain are rugged and unforgiving. Steep slopes choked with dense vegetation make for treacherous terrain. For firefighters, these canyons are a nightmare. The fire quickly spread through the canyons, fueled by the dry brush and the relentless wind. The flames jumped from ridge to ridge, creating a mosaic of fire across the landscape. The fire moved with astonishing speed. It crossed roads and fire lines, defying the efforts of firefighters to contain it. The terrain made it difficult to fight the fire from the ground. Firefighters had to rely on aircraft to drop water and fire retardant on the flames, but even from the air, the fire seemed unstoppable. It was a race against time, a desperate battle to protect lives and property. Wildfires are a fact of life in Southern California. The region's dry climate and frequent Santa Ana winds create ideal conditions for wildfires to ignite and spread. But in recent years, the wildfires have become more frequent and more intense. Climate change is believed to be a major factor, as warmer temperatures and prolonged droughts create a tinderbox-like landscape. The Otay Mountain fire was just the latest in a string of devastating wildfires to hit the region. In recent years, wildfires have burned millions of acres, destroyed thousands of homes, and claimed dozens of lives. The fires have left behind a trail of destruction and despair. They have also left behind a sense of unease, a feeling that the next big one is just around the corner. The Otay Mountain fire burned along the US-Mexico border, a region often defined by division and conflict. But in the face of this natural disaster, the border seemed to fade away. Firefighters from both sides of the border worked together, sharing resources and expertise. The fire knew no borders, and neither did the response. The fire served as a reminder that some challenges transcend borders. Natural disasters, like wildfires, do not discriminate. They affect everyone, regardless of nationality or immigration status. The collaborative response to the Otay Mountain fire offered a glimmer of hope, a testament to the power of cooperation in the face of adversity. Section 5. Seeking refuge. As the fire raged, thousands of residents were forced to flee their homes. Evacuation orders were issued for communities in the path of the fire. People packed up their belongings, gathered their loved ones, and headed to safety. Many sought refuge in evacuation centers set up by the Red Cross. The evacuation centers were filled with a mix of emotions. There was fear, uncertainty, and anxiety. But there was also a sense of community as strangers came together to support each other. Volunteers worked tirelessly to provide food, water, and comfort to evacuees. The evacuation centers became temporary havens, places where people could find solace and support during a time of crisis. Section 6. A city on edge. The city of Chula Vista, located just a few miles from the Otay Mountain fire, was on edge. The air was thick with smoke, and the smell of fire permeated the air. Schools were closed, and many businesses were shut down. The fire had cast a pall over the city. Residents watched the news anxiously, hoping for good news. They prayed for the safety of the firefighters battling the blaze. They worried about their homes, their families, and their community. The fire had disrupted their lives, and they longed for a return to normalcy. But for now, all they could do was wait and watch, hoping for the best. Section 7. Battling the blaze. Over 200 firefighters were deployed to fight the Otay Mountain fire. They came from across Southern California and beyond, bringing with them a variety of firefighting equipment and expertise. The firefighters worked tirelessly day and night to contain the blaze. The firefighting effort was aided by a fleet of aircraft. Helicopters and airplanes made countless water drops, drenching the flames with thousands of gallons of water and fire retardant. The air support was critical in slowing the fire's spread and protecting homes and other structures. The firefighters were heroes, risking their lives to protect their community from the inferno. Section 8. Nature's Helping Hand. As the fire raged on, weather forecasters offered a glimmer of hope. Rain was in the forecast. The rain, if it materialized, could provide much-needed relief for firefighters. It could help to dampen the flames and slow the fire's spread. The rain was a double-edged sword. While it could help to extinguish the fire, it could also bring with it the risk of mudslides and debris flows. The burned-out hillsides were vulnerable to erosion, and heavy rain could trigger dangerous mudslides that could threaten homes and lives. Firefighters and residents alike watched the skies anxiously, hoping for rain but also wary of its potential consequences. Section 9. Scars on the Land. The Otay Mountain fire eventually burned itself out, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Thousands of acres of land were scorched, homes were destroyed, wildlife habitats were decimated. The fire left behind a scar on the landscape, a reminder of its destructive power. But even in the aftermath of the fire, there were signs of hope. Green shoots emerged from the blackened earth, a testament to the resilience of nature. The community came together to support those who had lost their homes and livelihoods. The fire had tested the community's spirit, but it had also revealed its strength and resilience.